go ahead and get started, and then if people want to hop on late, that's fine. So I don't want to take any more of your time. So we are going to go ahead and get started today. Hi, guys. Thank you all for joining us. I know we took a little bit of time off with team calls because of baby, and I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. So we have a great first day back that I'm super excited about with Anita. Anita is joining us today, and I know that a lot of you guys follow her for inspiration, especially with the business, but not only that, but personally as well. She's just, I don't know, I've been following her for a long time, and I really enjoy everything that she shares and just how genuine she is and all of that. So we appreciate that. But for those of you who don't know her, she joined as a coach back in May of 2012. She is a superstar diamond, and she was top 10 twice, elite, currently number 7 in the business. So we are super lucky to have her on. Success Club 10 legend, and Million Club is happening in like a week or something crazy.
I'm
so congrats.
Like tomorrow, I'll be $100 off.
Oh my gosh, that's like the hardest, right? Whatever, same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Well, awesome. We're super glad to have you and thankful for your time. So with that being said, she's going to be definitely worth the listen. Every time I go to your YouTube page, I am all over like trying to figure out organization and time management, because I just feel like that's an area where you excel. You know, certain coaches, you kind of pick information for different reasons, and your page is definitely the go-to for like management and organization. And I have so many coaches who are just in that same boat where they don't really know where to put their time and efforts, and if they're juggling a job, family, whatever, they need help in that area. So we are so happy to have you. And with that being said, I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much for having me. Super excited to be here. I also follow you, Nikki, and just absolutely love your page. And we both were pregnant at the same time, and I was always looking in and seeing what you were up to, because I know we're both kind of in the same situation, and being pregnant and growing this business is very challenging. I've been a coach for 4 years, like Nikki said, and I have been through a lot of ups and downs as a coach. When I got started, I had a new baby. I was 210 pounds, and I had a full-time job. There was so much going on in my life. And at the time when I got started, and it was May 2012, I was actually dealing with postpartum depression. And I'm going to go on to talk to you guys a little bit more about how that's affected my life recently. But so I wanted this business to work, but there was so much going on in my life that it could throw anyone for a loop. And so I had to create some really serious systems where they were almost brainless. There were activities that I could do that I knew that if I did those things, I would become successful. So for me to even know to do that, I had to have one thing happen in my brain, and that was go follow people who have had success in this business already. Go figure out what it was that they were doing to make success happen, because I wasn't doing it. I took 10 months to become a diamond. I took, let's see here, 18 months, I became an 8-star. So you can see in the first 8 months to a year, there wasn't a lot going on. I didn't really get it until about 18 months in. So I also was so focused on my own fitness and weight loss that I needed a system. I needed organization. Fortunately, with this business, I was able to do both grow business and get in the best shape of my life. And lo and behold, fitness, exercise, nutrition, getting out into the sunshine and running can actually help you with postpartum depression. And I didn't know that. So I actually started to see myself coming out of that haze of postpartum depression. I started to really shout it from the rooftops to people on my social media. telling everybody, guys, this stuff actually works. Fitness actually works. Clean eating actually works on the brain, on your body, on your hormones, on your energy levels. And because I had that own journey myself, because I had that own experience myself, I was able to confidently and with excitement share with people my journey. But sharing with people your journey wasn't enough for me. I needed systems. I needed to have something in place where I, like I said, could be kind of brainless, having had to go to work full time, having to come home and take care of a 2-month-old. I needed to know that if I showed up at my computer, I had a system in place. I had to-do lists. I knew exactly what I needed to be doing in every given minute of my day so that I could not get fired from my job, be successful in my business, and take care of my 2-month-old. And granted, guys, in the beginning, it was not a perfect science. There were months where my husband was like, are you still a mom? There were days when my husband was like, are you still taking care of the house? And there were days when my boss was like, are you still one of my executives? Like, where are you? And so I eventually got a good system down. It took a couple months of practice. It took a couple months of figuring things out. And really, it took a couple months of really honing in on my why. I did not want to work for my boss anymore. I did not want that job anymore. And I wanted to be home with my baby. I wanted to work this business. I loved this business. It was like this new, exciting hobby that turned into my passion. And I thought life would be so bleak if I couldn't do it full time. So that was my big why, and it was painful. A lot of leaders are coming, I'm saying, your why doesn't need to be a why that makes you cry. Your why needs to be something that makes you angry. And that's exactly what it was for me. I was pissed at my job, at my weight, at my current life situation. It took me becoming drastically pissed off to want to make a change. It wasn't enough to cry. It wasn't enough to be sad. I had to be furious. And furious at my job, furious at my weight, furious that I was struggling with postpartum depression, anxiety, OCD. So I figured out a system that I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to screen share it. But I'm also going to tell you that this system saved me in the last few months as well. I've been a coach for 4 years. Some might think that, gosh, wow, you've got this down. You've been a coach for 4 years. It was handed to you. And you can just easily achieve Success Club without trying. That's not the case. From day one, I've always had to try. I've always had to work this system I'm going to share with you guys. And on May 24th, when I thought I was going to have a new baby, I actually lost my baby. And instead of retracting back into my room and hiding and quitting my business and getting completely unorganized, I fell back into this system and just did this blindly, just like I did in my first few months. I did indeed fall back into postpartum depression after I had my son on May 24th. I dealt with grief depression, postpartum depression. I had to go to therapy twice a week. I still go to therapy twice a week. I mean, grief is a full-time job. Going through those motions is a full-time job. And I have been able to manage to keep my business at the number 7 spot in the company and move my business forward every single day. Is it easy? No, but my why is painful. My why, I still have a living 4-year-old who is my world. And I do this business to give her the world. I do this business to give my husband the world. I do this business because I deserve the world. And so do you. And so you have to figure out where in your life that it's going to get a little angry for you and you're going to get a little bit fired up to be able to put these systems into motion, because they're not super simple, but they work. And they're going to save you on those busy days when you've got soccer practice and full-time job and you've got to get dinner on the table. If you have these systems in place, I can assure you you're going to get your job done as a coach. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share and get myself organized here. I have 2 screens. Okay, can everybody see this? Nikki, can you see it? Cool. Okay. So there are a few things that you need to do daily as a coach. Okay. There are daily activities that you need to start with every day. So I'm going to give you daily. I'm going to give you weekly. I'm going to give you monthly. And that should help you to have a system in place. So get your pen and paper out. If you've got a calendar, get that out too, because I'm going to tell you what to do on certain particular days of the week, okay? So you're going to start each day with a to-do list. If you have trouble with to-do lists, please get the book Push by Chalene Johnson. She teaches you how to make to-do lists for your day, your week, and your month, okay? So you're not going to try to tackle monthly, weekly projects on one day. You got to do things in one day that you can stomach, that you can actually get done, that's realistic. So you want to work from a list, and this list needs to be very consistent. Your list that you're going to do for your business, for me, I just made sure that I did these things every single day, no matter what, without fail. Even if I had, guys, I cloth diapered my kiddo when I was working full time. So when I say knee deep in like poopy diapers, I was literally knee deep in poopy diapers and working full time. So I had this power hour, this Beachbody power hour checklist. And I had lists for my week and I had lists for my month. And guys, I am not the most clean, organized person in the world. Trust me. My house is kind of a mess right now, but I knew I wanted this business really, really bad to work for me. So I knew I had to get my SHIT in order. I had to get my poop in a group. So, okay. So my daily to-do list was invite at least 2 people to a challenge group. I'm sorry, no longer 2. It needs to be about 5 to 10. That's where I'm at right now. And that's what I sort of train my coaches on doing. You want to do a workout and drink your Shakeology every day and post about it on your social media. Read and listen to at least 10 minutes of personal development every single day. Answer emails and Facebook posts Beachbody related, not outside of Beachbody, okay? And when I say listen to 10 minutes of personal development, Audible is a really great app. That's what I use. I, all day long, have stuff playing off my Audible. Follow up via phone or email with prospects. Number 6, review breaking coach news in the coach online office. Listen to a team call, archive national wake-up calls. So guys, when I was a new coach, this is how I figured out how to work a system, how to get a system in place. I listened to this is how crazy I was, a national wake-up call a day for 30 days. I gave myself a challenge to listen to all these national wake-up calls. And I would just take notes and notebooks. I would fill notebooks with notes and information on how coaches who were, more successful than me, who had success in the business, who had the success that I wanted, what they were doing to achieve success. So I would, number 8, check in and post in my Facebook challenge groups, call, text, email encouragement to someone I know, a friend, customer, coach, family member, not Beachbody related. I would post inspirational, engaging things on my Facebook during the day, 3 to 4 times at least. So then I figured out that I needed a monthly plan. It wasn't enough to just keep these things going. I needed to have this list going. I needed to work a plan. I needed to stick to it, and I needed to happen consistently. If you want to review this information, I have a video on YouTube called How to Strategically Plan Your Month as a Coach. And again, it's on YouTube. It's very easy to find. I made that video when I was like, a newer coach, just getting started, and I still do it today. So here is an example of a monthly plan. I created this calendar. Actually, this isn't one of my upline sponsors' calendars. We do the same exact thing. So I'm sharing with you an example, but I make this calendar for myself, but also for my coaches, so they know what to do every single month as, when they're working their business. So every month, no matter what, I would do the following, and I would place them strategically in particular parts of the month, so I knew what was coming up, what I needed to do, and what I was promoting and what I was talking to people about. And I did it, guys, no matter what, for 3.5 years. So the top of every month, I did a free clean eating group. It doesn't have to be a free cleaning group. Obviously, this is not me. This is one of my coaches. You can do a squat challenge group. You can do a crunch ab challenge group. You can do budgeting groups, something that you're passionate about, that can be free. Why do I say free at the beginning of the month? Because now you are earning the right to ask for people's business. When you have given value to people through a free platform, you are earning the right to say to them, I would like your business in my, you don't have to say business, but I would like you to sign up for my 30-day challenge. Here's the information. It's a lot easier to invite somebody to a free clean eating group and then invite them to a challenge group than it is to just cold invite them to a challenge group, because you don't have a lot of trust built in with somebody when you're coming at them saying, I want to talk to you about your health and fitness. I want to get you in on this challenge group and essentially buy a challenge pack from you. You're asking for people's waist size, you're asking for their weight, you're asking for their goals, and then you're asking for their credit card number. I mean, that's the nitty-gritty of it. But if you've got this free thing happening at the beginning of every month, you have earned the right to say, hey, I want to talk to you more about something else, okay? So I always have my new coaches run free clean eating or whatever challenge group, and I do it myself as well. And then all month, you want to be promoting your 30-day challenge. I have this little 30-day napping challenge picture as a joke. It's not really what I promote, but you want to run your challenge groups every month. For me, I run them at the end of the month, and I promote them all month. And I really spend a lot of time inviting the people and having conversations with the people that were in my free group. Also, guys, a free group is an excellent way to add to your network. If you say to people, I'm going to invite you to my free group. I have something to offer you, a meal plan, some free workouts, but here's the contingency. You have to add 2 to 3 friends to the group yourself to be able to get in. So there you have the opportunity to add 2 to 3 people to your network a day by asking these people who are coming into your free group, 2 to 3 people a day, adding to them to your network, and then eventually adding them, inviting them to a challenge group too. So this is just a crazy engine that just keeps flowing. Guys, I have been doing this for 3 years and it has been a success for me. And it's how I've met some of my top coaches. Next, you want to be running sneak peeks or webinars or phone calls about the opportunity. I like to do it in the middle of the month. I will either run it through a group page for a sneak peek. I'll run an event page and do like a happy hour. Or you can run a webinar through Zoom, which is free, or Google Hangouts, which is free. You'll want to get with your upline sponsor or even Nikki and ask them how, some tips on running a sneak peek or a webinar. Maybe get in on a sneak peek and see how it's ran so that you can get tips on running your own. I believe it's still there, but in our back office, there's a webinar that you can grab and use that's free. You can kind of tweak it and make it your own. And obviously, you want to make your plan duplicable. You want to share this plan with people and make sure that your coaches have the plan in place so that they can do it as well. So these things that I'm sharing with you, like I said, I've done them for 3 years, and it's this engine that I never stop drilling in on. I constantly put my foot on the gas pedal with this. And it's how I maxed out at 5,000 friends. I have 20-something thousand followers on my social media, on my personal page. I'm constantly running free things, free opportunities, because it gets people engaged. It gets them to trust you, to get to know you. If they haven't had an opportunity to do so in the past, this is a great way for them to know you. In these free groups, guys, I want you to also get creative. Create your own meal plan, something that's worked for you. You can also go to the online, BOD and use one of the meal plans there. And make sure you're engaging. Do live videos in the group. Share recipes. Go live when you're making dinner and give people tips and advice on making dinner, breakfast, lunch, what have you. This is how people are going to get to know you. That's what's so great about also Snapchat. If you're not using Snapchat, you guys need to get on that. It's a great way for people to get to know you. It's like an ongoing free, sneak peek, free clean eating group, a way for people just to build more trust with you. So You know, if you have a free clean eating group, get in there and say, add me on Snapchat. Follow my journey on Snapchat while you're in this free clean eating group. There'll be extra advice, tips, and motivation on my Snapchat for you as well. So it's just another way to build out your social media presence and get more people following you, watching you on a deeper level. Snapchat's not exactly a way to, for me at least, it's not how I recruit or end up with more followers, but it's how I build stronger presence in people's lives. So, but yeah, like I said, I've gone through a lot of ups and downs in my business. This has not been an easy 4 years. Between leaving, I finally was able to leave my full-time job in 2013. I was finally able to help my husband leave his job. But soon after we reached that point in my business, my stepfather passed away. My mother had to move in with us. We had to move my mother across the United States, moved to Austin and back to where we are now. And then I got pregnant. I went through a full 8 months of pregnancy and then lost my son. And I've still been able to keep this thing going, this engine going, because I had a plan in place. You've got to have a business plan, a business model in place. Just like with any business, if you're going to buy a franchise, start any kind of franchise or company, you've got to present a business model and you have to keep it going in order to have success. You absolutely need to treat your business like you invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into it and have that plan in place, because you just never know what life might throw at you along the way. So that's it for me, Nikki. That's all the information I have for today. I hope that helps.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm like writing all this stuff down thinking I need to step up my own organization, because that's an area for me. Like, I was a teacher, so I'm so like pen and paper and I don't know, putting things in Excel or like doing anything on the computer. I'm just like, eh. But long term, I know that it's something that needs to happen. And anyway, I think it's great what you do. And I had somebody actually yesterday, I was doing a live feed in our team page, and they were asking, you know, do you have set things you do at certain days and certain times of the week or month? And I said, I don't know that. I think mine goes back and forth, but I have a feeling that Anita might have something to say about that tomorrow. And I'm so glad that you addressed it.
Yeah.
Just, you know, having set things that you do every day makes it easier and feel less like I'm all over the map. Like, you kind of know what to expect. So I appreciate that. And I did not know that it took you like 10 months to get to Diamond.
Yeah.
So that's like a great, I mean, that's a great testimony to like what can happen when you just like put your head down, because look at where your team is now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved hearing that. And I think that that's inspiring to a lot of people who, you know, they don't go Diamond in 60 days and they're thinking, well, it's all lost cause. And that's not the truth. I think it's like slow and steady is such a great way to go with this business. I did have one question for you, if that's okay. A few people had asked because, and I know I just saw your post. For those of you who are on the call, there's what's called the wall, and it's like the 5-star and above group. And I saw your post about getting back from such a recruiting mindset, going back to like challenge groups and that sort of thing. And I just had that aha moment myself. Like, I was recruiting a ton, and then the success wasn't necessarily showing in my own coaches. And I thought, I'm going to actually slow it down, and I'm going to focus on who I do bring on and really getting them started and stuff. So I love that. But this does have to do with recruiting. So it's going to kind of go against like what your post just was. But for those who are working to get better with recruiting, I know a lot of people, that's like their frog that they have to eat, that they're just nervous about asking people, or how do I go about growing a team? So in your opinion, as far as adding coaches, you know, quality coaches, how has that worked for you? Is it private message? Is it challenge groups? Is it ads? Like, what is your thing?
When I look at the people who are qualifying for Success Club on my team, and I look at my team leaders and my diamonds, I have to think, okay, where did they come from? I always do this. Okay, so where are these people coming from? Because, I mean, a lot of coaches will, I mean, and I totally suggest spending money on ads. I think that's a great way to get your presence out there. But I have to look at that because I am spending money on ads. So I have to look at, okay, what's going on in my business so I know where to allocate my attention and my funds. When I look at it, most of my leaders are coming from challenge groups. Most of my Success Club qualifiers were attracted to me from initially joining a challenge group and then becoming a coach.
I agree.
Yeah. And I didn't know that for a long time. I thought, okay, I should just be recruiting for the business, that they're just going to all start working. And I thought that's where they were coming from. But then I just started to really break it apart and look at each and every one of my star diamonds. And I was like, oh, challenge group, duh. It needs to be fitness first, business second.
Yes. And it's easy the longer you've been in the business to switch your focus and say, okay, well, now I'm going to go for like recruiting because you've got your face out there and people know that what you're doing, and you don't necessarily have to like talk about Shakeology every day for people to know that you sell Shakeology and that sort of thing. And so it's a different shift for sure. But I feel the same way. And I've told people a million times before, like there are top coaches who are powerhouse recruiters, but there are also top coaches who don't recruit a ton and they just make sure that those are quality coaches. And I felt the same way. Like I feel like when I look at who is long-term staying in this business and seeing the growth, it's people who understood challenge groups, who were in them and got results, or if they came on as a coach, they were already loving Beachbody products. You know, it was like, I didn't have to sell them on that. And so, yeah, it's good to kind of have that, to hear you say that as well, because I know that, especially as a new coach, I agree, I pay for ads as well, but as a new coach, you're very limited on your budget, and you can still grow without spending a bunch of money on ads. And I think a lot of that's going to just come from really solid challenge groups.
Yeah. When I got started, I had no money to spend on ads. Like I was broke as a joke. So those free meeting groups, doing those free any groups, like really I did an experiment with my team, and I did a free group last month, and I added 1,000 friends to my page. I had 4,000 friends, and I added, as an experiment, I added 1,000 people just by doing a free group. Granted, I have a much bigger following, so it's easy for me to add that many people by saying to each person that added themselves. So I had like 300-400 people added from my various social media platforms, and I said to each of them, you need to add 2 to 3 people to be able to join my group. And it was a great idea. Mind-blowing. And so take that to a smaller level, and you've got your brand new coaches. Okay, so you've got 30 to 40 people coming into your free group. If they added 2 to 3 people each, how many people a month can you add to your network? It's a great
I don't know why I never thought of that, but that's a great way. I mean, we've done referrals as far as like, you know, a paid group, but I've never even thought like, hey, ask your friends to come into this free group with you. And like, they'd rather do it with their friends because, especially if they don't know you personally, they feel more comfy having someone that they're familiar with and they're with them. So exactly. Makes a bunch of sense.
Yeah.
One last question before we go. I have a coach who is asking, how do you track your Instagram followers as far as messaging goes? Do you have a system to keep your Instagram in order, or how does that work for you?
Okay, so in regards to that, I'm really unorganized. Okay. I get a ton of people from Instagram dropping their emails whenever I put up a post. So what I do is I take the emails that were dropped and I put them into a Google Doc, and I do it every day. So I have hundreds of Google Docs with emails. And I have my assistant, and you can just do this without an assistant, go in and grab 10 emails a day and follow up, going back 30 days every day.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's how I do it. You can use Asana. I know a lot of coaches use Asana. Asana. I don't know what. Yeah. But it's a great way to do the same exact thing. It sets you up. It gives you reminders every 30 days to follow up with particular people. So.
Okay, cool. And Just for our own thought process, do you use a tracker app or are you still using Facebook groups?
Facebook groups. I'm old.
I'm like old school. I'm like, I think I need to I need to go to the app, I think, but it's so easy with Facebook.
Didn't like it, but I know I need to give it another chance.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good to know. Well, thank you. That was great information, and I feel like I got a lot from it as well. So I appreciate your time and you hanging out with us today. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right. I'll see you later. Yeah. All right. Bye. Have a good day. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.